Hi everyone, welcome back, Samuel here. I think I have to talk about a problem I have. You might have noticed that I changed my camera gear a lot, and I think this is a good time to explain myself. Although this video is about a lens, I have to make this clear in the beginning. So with the pandemic, streets are not as lively as they were, so I wasn't really able to do a lot of street photography, and I think you can relate. You start looking into how can I improve my photography without doing the actual work. So I bought some cameras, I sold some cameras, and I think I'm at the point where I'm done with the Leica hype.
Wow.
Okay, I have the Q2 and I'm pretty happy with it, but at the same time I just got this lens here. The Fujinon XF 18 1.4, and this is the XE4 that I use for all my videos. That is also why I'm shooting on my phone. Ironically, I don't have enough gear to film this video, but I feel like I have too much gear, and I'm wondering, can this lens replace the Q2? Because we have a 28 here, 1.7, and this is maybe a 27, 1.7. So it has a similar look, but does it give me the same 3D pop? I don't know, but today I will just take some pictures and we will compare them, and basically let's look at this camera and if it really has that Leica magic that everyone talks about.
The Leica look a lot of times it's always shooting wide open.
Because that is important, right? Such an unimportant video to make. Anyways, I love comparisons. Let's go. So, we are back. Were you able to tell the difference? I think it was very hard, wasn't it? I made sure that I matched the colors from these two cameras. Oh, I don't have my XE4 anymore. This is the XS10. I traded in my XE4 for the XS10. Shout out to the guy who did the exchange with me. Yeah, mainly because this is just a more convenient camera for shooting YouTube videos because of the flip out screen, and it has IBIS, but it's the same sensor as the XE4. So all the photos you saw were taken on my XE4. I think the main giveaway for the Q2 is just the wider aperture, 1.7 full frame versus 1.4 APS-C. So maybe you could tell by the bokeh balls, the size of the bokeh balls. Wait, I didn't reveal which camera was which. So camera number A was the Fuji, and camera number B was the Q2. Yeah, surprise, surprise. Oh yeah, and also I shared some of these photos on my Discord server, and a lot of you guys who are on the server guessed the camera wrong. You thought that the Leica files are coming from the Fuji, and there was no one who guessed the camera right. And at that time I wasn't even trying hard to match the cameras color-wise. So it should be easy to tell which camera's which, but you didn't. So that was kind of an eye-opener, and I think the lesson or the takeaway of this video is that if us camera nerds can't tell the difference, then, you know, normal people who aren't into photography, they will never tell the difference. They won't care one bit. I mean, I shot weddings in the past on my Ricoh GR, 16 megapixels, and also the 5D Mark II. And my clients never complained. They couldn't tell the difference, you know, which tells you that it doesn't really matter what camera you use. It becomes more about how you experience the camera, how much fun do you have, and does it allow you to get the shot. And this is, I think, a good segue talking about not only the optical differences, because optically, you know, I didn't do any brick wall tests. This is definitely the better optical performing lens. Not by much though, because we are talking here about a camera that is like 5 grand and a lens that is 1 grand. You still need to buy a camera, of course, but this setup here is cheaper than, less than half the price of this setup. You have a crappy viewfinder here, but yeah, it's all right. You have a great viewfinder here, but the autofocusing is not that great. Tracking autofocusing, especially on these newer Fuji bodies, AF tracking is amazing. It's kind of like cheating. It's really crazy how fast it is and how reliable it is. So for street photography, I would probably recommend getting this lens if you like 28 on a newer Fuji body, and you will probably get more photos in focus than using the Q2. Of course, if you know how to use the camera, if you pre-focus and use the Q2 like in Leica M, for example, then you can totally make this work, because you don't need to shoot at 1.7 all the time, right? But on this camera you can, and you still get everything in focus. I mean, not everything, but the subject. I don't want to keep this video too long. This is probably a very short video. If you found this useful, let me know. I was just curious to know if there's a substitute for the Q2. And of course there isn't, because you buy the Q2 for the manual experience and the build quality.
The craftsmanship is just out of this world, bro.
But now that I have this lens, the 18-1.4, I gotta say, the magic of this Leica Q2 is starting to slowly fade away. And I'm starting to see this camera as more as a tool, as an emotional object that brings me joy because of the user experience, which is probably the main reason why you should get the Q2, the user experience. And it has 47 megapixels, but that's another story. I don't think you need that. It's nice to have, but yeah, I think my gear journey throughout 2020 and 2021 is slowly coming to an end. It will never end, of course. But as you guys see, I'm not in the city anymore. I definitely need to do an update video talking about my life situation. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comment section if you prefer one or the other, if you're surprised about the 18-1.4. Do you still like your Q? Alright guys, that is it. See you in the next video very soon. Do you see all these little yellow fruits? We have a bunch of them, this whole tree. You can make like marmalade. And oh, my wife is back. My wife is back. And I'm not looking after my son. I'm so tired. I slept maybe 4 hours last night. Why am I filming this? And I really want to have an optical viewfinder again. There's so many benefits, of course, using an EVF, but it's getting really tiring looking through the viewfinder and seeing a screen. You know, I'm editing all day, looking at my big monitor, and I don't want to look through another screen when I'm taking pictures.